we got our page taken from us, man. And like what hurts is there were years of great moments, man, and videos that we all reminisce about, that we all love. And a lot of that stuff is still available. We still have control of the Instagram and the TikTok.
One of the Shiloh boys is the aforementioned Terry Funk, and he's sitting there like,
This ain't a country music station. Standing screwed me over. Hi, I'm Red McMasters.
Happened in the 90s.
We just have a Instagram audience right now, but it's all right. It's okay.
it's going to happen. We've involved the authorities all the way up to the AG. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's pretty crazy. But whoever that did that. And I'm sorry to use coarse language to our real fans, but somebody stole access to our social media page on the Facebook, and just like to give them a big suck my D, however you say that, for wherever he's from.
Somewhere where they put turmeric on everything, even the cereal. And that's the thing, man. We're going to be talking about Martin when Stan stole the radio station, and I feel like that's kind of apropos. This episode is pretty apropos to what we're kind of going through right now, even the IRS stuff. But like Matt said, we got our page taken from us, man. And like what hurts is there were years of great moments, man, and videos that we all reminisce about, that we all love. And a lot of that stuff is still available. We still have control of the Instagram and the TikTok. But with Facebook, it was different because, for one, they were paying us, and it was a vibe, as the kids say, man. You know, it was good seeing other people share those same sentiments, those same feelings of whenever you bring up an old sitcom or an old movie, and sometimes you remind people of a movie that they forgot that they loved, and they're just like, oh my God, I got to go find it and watch it now. That evoked a good feeling, and it was all good vibes. But unfortunately, the person who took it over turned the Happen in the 90s page into growing up in the 70s. And they made it some 4chan, Fox News subreddit BS.
Yeah, dude. Call it growing up in the 70s. I don't even get that at all because you're just putting on some shit on the page. So if you can, because this person's also a coward and blocked me and Steve from viewing it, so I can't even look at it. So if any of our fans want to go and just like spam this person and just make his life suck a little bit more, really make us feel better. But you know,
Really would.
other than just saying you to the guy, we'll get it back. And I don't know any repercussions that'll happen, but Steve especially is putting in a lot of work for that. He's put in a lot of work on that page, and that's kind of why I don't like the internet too much, Steve. There's so much on it. It does allow us to do shit like this, but there's just some dumbass people out there that just don't have any sort of creativity, or they're just shitty people. So you run into them. We ran into one here, and I don't know if I can get a work trip to Pakistan, Steve, but if I can, I'd love to get an address and just maybe burn a bag of dog shit on this guy's porch, if nothing else.
Or,
Really wish we could get in some sort of a Southern wrestling style matchup with him and just really put some screws to him, swing him around, power bomb him a couple of times, just him up.
it never would cross my mind to think like, man, I want to take over somebody else's work, take over somebody else's creation, and reap the benefits of it, man. And the followers who do see this, if you all of a sudden see these alt-right political posts on your timeline, it's probably from growing up in the 70s. And I'll share a screenshot of what their page looked like. We don't ask for much, but we would appreciate it if you would report them.
Yeah, get petty with it too. Maybe even just do that first, but then post some real, just like personal insults at the person. Small penis, you stink, whatever you want. Just be petty about it. And just every once in a while, just fuck this guy's day up. So until we get the page back, but then come back for the vibes. But until then, let's throw some bad vibes at that person and just really give them a digital as much as we can, I guess.
Swift kick in the ass. This is Steve G and Matt G with Happened in the 90s, a show where we talk about what happened in the 90s. So get out your Tailspin posters and your Tales from the Dark Side tapes, because it never rains in Southern California. That's what they tell me. It never rains in Southern California. Now it may be cold on the East Coast, but on the other side of town.
It never rains. Steve.
Do 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 do
Hell yeah.
do
I'm
do
glad you
do.
brought that one up. That's my personal fave, but
Today, my guy, we're talking all things May 8th in the 90s. That's what they tell me. Starting off in 1990, Tony released The Revival. And this, to me, is the one, Matt.
I mean, it is. I never like the cover art to this. It's like diner signs or like so I don't know what the vibe they're trying to go for.
It doesn't kick in the 90s for me.
Yeah, it definitely it's like Jetsons shit or I don't know, but the vibes of the songs, especially the one Steve was just singing. I found out about that because it got sampled, but that song I mean, it's still a panty dropper, Steve.
Always, man. And then, it feels good. Yeah. If you really man,
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Dude, Tony, Steve. I told you that story. My wife gets hookups on tickets, and we got to see Tony as part of like a big R&B festival that was at the Greek in LA. This was probably like 10 years ago now. It was a while ago, but gotta say, they killed it. And I was looking forward to it. I mean, everybody there knew who they were, but the people was with were like kind of younger. Like my wife's 4 years younger than me, so I think she might have missed out on the Tony.
Mm.
But yeah, I was thrilled, dude. But
Dude, you're blessed.
I didn't know about Tony until I was an adult. You know,
Oh man, this one and whatever you want, 'cause you know I can provide. That's whatever you need, baby. I said
we're
do.
going karaoke and just doing R&B songs, please.
And it's hard for me to pick which of my favorite R&B group, like out of these guys, Jodeci, and then New Edition, is getting to the point where it's just like, man, you know what? Just Mount Rushmore it, because like I really love Tony because they play instruments, and Raphael Sadiq, he doesn't get enough props, man. Early '90s R&B, man, you just cannot beat it. But
They don't
also,
make it. There's no music like this now, and this even
right,
if there was, this would be way better than it. This is the best version of this, in my opinion. There's some shit. There's some good '70s soul music, but when you
for
get into
sure,
R&B in the '90s, you're just like, who the fuck is Guy? Oh, damn, all that. Even those like second tier ones, you're like, there's like 8 songs
total.
in here. I'm about to just get fucking laid to.
And also, I mean, I want to call attention to Dwayne Wiggins.
Yep.
Yeah, the guitarist for Tony, man, and he passed away in March 7th of bladder cancer, at the age of 64.
So there was two Wiggins in Tony, Steve.
Yeah,
So are they? I'm assuming brothers, right?
Raphael Sadiq. That was the brother. My
Oh, he's
apologies.
Raphael Wiggins. Okay.
He's Charles Ray Wiggins. Raphael Sadiq is his stage name. There was Timothy Christian on the drums and keyboards and background vocals, and that was their cousin. So it was Dwayne, Raphael Sadiq, and Timothy Christian Riley.
Damn, what a talented family. Shit.
Yeah.
My cousin
But
sells gas tanks. It's not the same, Steve.
yeah, well, I have cousins who do nothing. So, but R.I.P. Dwayne Wiggins. 1991, Quantum Leap is airing season 3, episode 20, Heart of a Champion. Sam leaps into a wrestler who must convince his brother, to quit due to a heart problem.
Just another banger, Steve. I like this because we love wrestling, and I think this was kind of a fun little interesting insight into the inner workings of early wrestling, you
The
know?
Carney times, yeah.
And also, we get Terry Funk, Steve, which we all love a nice Terry Funk appearance. We've seen him in movies. He was in Roadhouse, but here
Over
he's,
the
I
top.
feel like he's just playing himself. You know, I feel like this might just be just sort of a biography of Terry Funk, you know, Steve, minus the tax and the explosions, exploding whatever matches.
Crazy son of a bitch from West Texas, even wearing the cowboy hat throughout the episode.
One of the Shiloh boys. Yeah, this is a wild one, Steve. And before we get into the episode, we've talked about the show a lot, and we love it. I love it, at least. I had a thought watching this. I actually was trying to rewatch it this morning, just thinking to myself, you know, if you gotta get into this situation that Sam's in, where you're just leaping from situation to situation, is this not like the dream? He gets to go from place to place, no repercussions for himself personally. He's just in somebody else's body doing crazy shit. He's in a whorehouse at one point. We've seen him wrestle. We've seen him play piano in diners and avoid being killed by mafioso. You know, I guess you'd miss your family, but if you got to get stuck in a weird situation like this, I feel like this is a pretty decent one to get stuck into, you know. It might suck every once in a while, but every once in a while you're going to wake up with somebody's like mouth on your penis, and that's pretty cool.
Well, depending on that mouth on the penis, you never know. Sam finds himself in some dicey situations.
But hey, even if it is a dicey situation, you're like, ugh, you just are going to leap out at some point. It's just
Delete.
yeah, you're gonna get. It's like the lady in fucking Kingpin. You wake up and she's like, ah. But I
Oh,
just thought that, you know, I just think, you know, sometimes these shows, it's a bad rap these people get. But Sam, he gets to jump and have a little fun every once in a while, and when the fun's over, boom, he gets to go to a new fun situation. There's a lot in Quantum Leap to unravel. It's a very complicated show. It's a very deep show, Steve, as we're going to find out in this episode.
because Sam, he leaps into a wrestler and he's in a tag team apparently. And the person that he's wrestling in the ring, he puts him in like the helicopter spin,
Yeah.
the gorilla monsoon.
I feel like that was a go-to. That was like one of the impressive early wrestling moves. You know, I don't know how effective it is, like speaking like logistically, but looked pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's taking a lot out of Sam because he gets dizzy, and then eventually he does get some offense. Then out of nowhere, he gets this Patrick Swayze roundhouse.
Yeah, he because he comes to in like chaos, and he's trying to figure out what's going on. And halfway he gets tagged in, kind of has a little like shenanigans happen, but yeah, he throws in like a Jean Claude kick almost, like it's picturesque.
Yeah,
Perfect form, and catches the wrestler, this big gimp looking dude that he's wrestling, right on the button. That guy's like, why'd you do that? And then pulls like a Ric Flair and just falls down. He's fucked up. And the match ends. Yeah. Sam beat just with one kick, just beat this gigantic dude. Garbage. It starts turning into when Hulk Hogan turned into NWO. Garbage is just being thrown into the ring. The Carney, like, announcer guys, like, going through it. And then Sam's tag team partner picks the mic up. And I gotta say, Steve, this guy has mic skills because their gimmick is they're Russian wrestlers, you know? So he's like,
the
"You capitalist pigs, eat my shit." You know, he's throwing some real heavy Russian shit in there, and they're loving it.
Eisenhower's a pussy.
Just go home and eat your fucking Salisbury steaks, you fat pieces of shit. And they start calling out the local champions, the Shiloh boys, even pull out a poster of them, start going to town. One of the Shiloh boys is the aforementioned Terry Funk, and he's sitting there like,
What the fuck?
motherfucker. Got a hot piece of A next to him, too, Steve. A nice little sensational sherry on his arm.
You know that's her name, right?
Is that her name for real?
Sherry Shiloh.
Oh, damn. Hell yeah. Triple S, Steve. And they go into the back. I do like Sam this whole time. Like he knocks this guy out, and he's a wrestler, so you're supposed to like not break kayfabe. But he doesn't even have like an accent. He's like, "Oh man, I didn't mean to hurt this guy."
Yeah, what Sam, he doesn't understand kayfabe because when he makes it back to the locker room, he's talking to his tag team partner slash brother, and he hears him talk in a regular American accent. He's like, "Wait, you're not Russian? Of course not. That's her gimmick."
Yeah. His brother's like, "Man, where'd you figure out that cool move?" You know, because
Mm.
as they're talking, he's basically telling Sam wrestling's fake, and Sam's like, "Wait, you know the results before the match?" And he's like, "Yeah, time and who wins, unless it's a championship match, it's everybody for themselves or whatever. Anything goes," which is weird.
Ronnie, that's his
Ronnie,
name.
yeah, Ronnie. Ronnie's a stud, dude. If shit, he's the star until Sam breaks out this John Claude shit, which I guess they never saw in the 50s. This is like when they first saw like a slam dunk in basketball. Everyone's like, "Holy shit, spinning kicks! This
Yeah.
guy Asian?"
The promoter, he comes in there and he's like, "Look, man, next time you invent a move or something, let me know."
So we can let everybody know. We all got to know about this shit because nobody's seen this. He's like the pissed off like commish guy in a cop show. He's like, "What the hell were you thinking? A minute and 8 seconds. What am I supposed to do with that?" And then they bring in like the gimp with like I love the shisty doctor that this guy has too, who's like
Uh,
kind of real but not. But he's like checking him, and the promoter guy's like, "I got the Shiloh boys on contract to fight Gimpy McGee or whatever. I forget what their
the
name was."
Mongolians.
Yeah. And so I don't what are we supposed to do here, guys? And he goes back, the Mongolian guy cannot fight. So now they don't know who is gonna be in this match. So step in the mouth of the South style manager of the Russian guys, which is their mother, which is cute.
Yeah.
And she's like, he was just trying to make a point. And the promoter's like, "What point was this guy trying to make?" And she's like selling this mistake. And she's like, "They deserve the shot. That's what he was trying to tell you. He's good though. So what do you think?" So this woman's a business like genius because she gets him in, Steve. She gets the contract.
Judy Bagwell over here.
Yeah, dude. Looking like your grandma too. She doesn't dress like in any sort of extravagant thing. She just has her nice little purse and her hat or like Sunday best on, and she's at a wrestling event, Steve. But I do think that's indicative of the time because my grandmother, who was like a sweet old, she looked like an Italian Nona with red hair. We used to watch wrestling all the time, and she was so into it. So I think with like
Yeah.
a certain age, like people just love that shit.
Yeah. I mean, and then like grandparents, they were there from the beginning stages a lot of times. Well, not even the beginning stages, but they were old enough to remember the circus days where you can come to a wrestling event at a small town and you can see like a star.
Yeah, and all the stars looked basically like Bob Backlund. You know,
Yeah.
they were just like dudes.
With beer guts.
Yeah, not a lot of abs like there is now. You know, Sam's not really into this. He's like, if this is the fucking thrill of victory, geez, Louise. You know. But as there's like that all happens, Terry Funk stomps in, and this guy is like he's like a bulldog, Steve. I mean, I don't even know if he's communicating enough. He's like growling at him. His wife comes in first, and his wife is just sort of like looking at wrestlers like cattle. She's like,
Yeah.
"Ooh," she's very into Sam also in that
She,
new move.
she's a siren. And then Carl, played by Terry Funk, he comes in there and Sam, he tries to hide in the locker. But yeah, Terry Funk, I think he tears the locker door off.
Yeah, and then bends the motherfucker like a fucking just like a Slim Jim, just bitching out Sam. Sam's just in the locker like, "Oh god," and I would be too. I'm not even saying anything. I mean, it's terrifying. But as sexy as that Sherry lady is, Steve, and you love yourself a wrestling Sherry,
I do.
would you do this? Would you risk paying the ultimate price to have one night in a trailer with Sherry, Steve?
I'd only risk my life for the one and only Portia Williams. That's the
Okay.
only
All
she's the
right.
pinnacle.
All right. Well, at least you have like I guess I would do that just for Pam from
Does
Martin,
she?
and definitely we gotta like. Is Trina still alive, Steve? Because I used to beat it to her album
Tr-
cover.
Trina, she's still with us.
She's still with us. Okay, yeah, Trina, you
Thank
can get
God.
it too. But yeah, he's in wrestling, Steve. Again, the dream's coming true for this guy. You got to leap into a wrestler, Steve.
But unfortunately, this isn't his dream because Al shows up and he lets him know that Sam's character, he just joined this team. Their older brother, or Sam's older brother, just passed away. And their father, he was a wrestler. So he's like a second generation guy. He passed away. So the remaining brother, Ronnie, it's his dream to make good on his promise to their dead brother.
And he's all about that shit. Like that's his
All
thing.
about it.
It's a blood oath at this point. Is this the same kind of story as that family they made the movie about with what's his face?
The Von Erichs, I don't think
Just
like the
family tragedy, I guess, is like a
okay. Yeah, we'll smoke a bag of that. And yeah, there was definitely tragedy.
It's July 23rd, 1955. You're Terry Sampson. Your brother's Ronnie. Your mom's your manager. Bob's your uncle. This, that, and the other. They're in Atlanta, Georgia. That's where they're at right now. So this is like a regional Atlanta, Georgia. You could have gone, Steve, if this was it wouldn't have been that great of a time for you. But
Yeah, probably have to sit in a different section, obviously. But
um,
if I'm allowed,
yeah, I would hope that they would let you in there, Steve. You're a super fan. I mean, fuck. That's a it's an impossible movie to make, Steve, but I would love that. Steve just going back, guys. If you make it to the '90s, there was a guy named Bret Hart who was going to fucking fuck your head up.
yeah,
Oh man, Al. For all that he's got, he doesn't have a lot of info right now. I guess when they get right at like the first jump happens and they're just like figuring everything out, he's
yeah,
still trying to get Ziggy all this information from Ziggy. They're trying to piece this puzzle together. Now they have to wrestle tomorrow because I guess not only were the Mongolians, they had that issue with like they had like the head injury from the kick. I think they got arrested. Al says,
yeah.
which I'm not surprised. Dude. They looked kind of rowdy. They're having a beer, they're celebrating, and this is where we find out like this is his everything. Like not only the family shit, like he just wants to be the champion of like he wants to be Bret Hart, Steve.
Sam tells him like, look, it's not my dream. This is Frankie's dream. That's their dead brother.
You might want to think about maybe we shouldn't wrestle because he's trying to be like passive aggressive in the conversation because he knows something, but he's not going to just be like, if you wrestle tomorrow, you will die. He's trying to be like, well, maybe we should think about it. Like maybe we're in over our heads here. And they go over that brother thing. And Sam tries to get some like info about Ronnie's health history because we did see in like the locker room he got like kind of dizzy, I think. So
Yeah,
there's some weirdness there. But before we get any info on that, Ronnie, who's a wrestler, and I think this is pretty accurate about wrestlers too. They're going out and having a couple of suds. They don't hesitate to get in it with these guys that just want to fuck up a wrestler or something. So two Hicks come up, two real ugly Atlanta guys, Steve. These guys look real greasy.
yeah. And they want to fight those mean Ruskies because kayfabe at this time is alive and well. It's like you foreign bastards coming over my country talking about Ike Eisenhower. Yeah, we like our GI Joes and our etch a sketches. What's wrong with that?
Fucking communists.
Our
Fucking
slinkers.
fucking your women with their fucking big bushes and their fucking tall fucking shoes and shit.
And
He's
Sam,
like Ronnie's like, dude, I'm a fucking American, bro.
it's a character, you
What are you
idiot.
fucking serious? Look at this fucking pussy trying to put on a fucking American accent. That ain't no fucking American accent, Ivan.
Yeah, you think we look stupid or something?
But and I think maybe Sam gained this knowledge, this karate skill, like throughout his leaps, maybe. Because he two pieces these fucking Hicks too. He throws a couple karate kicks, I think. I don't know where he got it, but he put that one away, Steve. He knows how to throw a couple of roundhouse kicks. And I love that. But then we go to Ronnie's. Ducey's got a sweet family. He's having dinner. His wife, though, is not about this wrestling life, Steve. She's not even about violence at all. You
Yeah,
know,
like Owen Hart's wife or something. He's putting his son to bed, and Sam sees again that his brother is having some issues. He stops for a moment. He has to catch himself, and Myra, she's worried about Ronnie.
this shit's happening a lot. He's waking up in cold sweats.
Yeah,
Bitch,
and
take him to a doctor.
he'd quit if it wasn't for that promise he made to Frank. Also, while they were at the bar, Sam, that's when he finds out from Al that his brother has a heart situation. He has risk of heart failure.
Oh yeah, I think, and yeah, there was something related to him being like he got a disease and it fucked. I think he had pneumonia or something.
Something like that.
Yeah, where it like messed
Rheumatoid.
his heart up. Yeah, something. I will get to it.
While he's talking to Myra, she's like, "I think your mom would sacrifice everything for that title." And then that's when the mom comes in, and she's like, "You know what? I'm gonna go check on my son and Ronnie." So the mom, she's like, she's weak. She's
Bitches.
worried. Yeah, weak ass bitch.
Sam's like, yeah, but she's just worried about her husband, and the mom's like, yeah, but she's a fucking liar too. It's BS.
And she's a weak
Damn.
ass bitch.
Yeah. Then Sam asks her if Ronnie has heart issues, and he thinks that he's like, well, I just think Ronnie should not be wrestling right now. And the mom says it's fine, he's fine. She basically is being a bitch too, and is like, well, if you're scared, guess I could find somebody else to wrestle in your place if you want to be a little bitch like the fucking Myra, fucking
Yeah.
bitch ass bitch.
Yeah. This family is driven to get those belts, and like I love like how they equate the belt to currency, as if like it's $1 million.
Everything's gonna change.
Yeah.
But it's tied to two dead people, Steve. So it's hard to give that dream up. Especially, and the mom is like she's a straight up cold blooded manager. She's a Bobby Heenan. She's working all the fucking strings, Steve. She doesn't care. She doesn't care about you. She just wants the accolades and the belt.
Sacrifice her husband, sacrifice her son. Hell, I sacrifice all three of these motherfuckers to get these belts.
Ungrateful ass motherfuckers. You know how many lies and dicks I've had to suck to get you where you are? I'm like Forrest Gump's mama.
Your mama sure do care about your learning.
So now we cut to that night. Sam's stressing. Wrestlers, I guess, all live near each other in like a trailer park. It is like a circus, basically.
Yeah.
Seems kind of cool.
And while he's chilling in his trailer trying to figure stuff out, Sherry, she creeps in. Guess he didn't lock the door. And Sam's like, "You're a married woman. I don't think this would be a good look." To who? Who's going to know?
He's just at home watching Three Stooges like a dumbass. He ain't gonna know nothing.
Yeah. Right after she says that, Carl comes in there, knocking on the door, knocking on the window.
Where the fuck are you, bitch? Oh
Uh,
God. Sam's stuck. Al comes in and is like, man, this bitch she loves doing this shit. That's all that he just has some tea to share on. He's like, this bitch is messy.
yeah. Usually I don't kink shame, but in this situation, yeah, she a messy broad.
She likes getting dudes fucked up. And as he's telling him this, Terry Funk is like chewing through the door. I think he's like, just he's a rabid human at this point, Steve. He's gone rogue.
And Sam even calls her out like, you want me to get beat up? A girl's got to have a hobby."
I mean, if Terry Funk gets a hold of him, he's gonna literally pull his arms off like Chewbacca does to stormtroopers, just full like medieval shit. So Sam gets up like through like that little escape hatch that all trailers have on the top.
Yeah.
And Terry, is like, just like, you bitch. But I think secretly Terry likes this too. You know what I'm saying? This is like
Yeah.
two ways where he comes in, he gets all heated up. He's rock hard right now, and they just start banging, like fucking each other up like Terminators.
Next to a dead body. Side note, through shoot interviews, I found out that this was actually one of Rick Rude's hobbies as well. Like he would go
Fucking
to the
people up?
he would go to the bar with this girl, and he would pick out a guy like, yeah, go flirt with him. and then she
Oh
would go
my
forward, "Hey, you
god!
talking to my girl?" And it's Rick Rude, of
No,
course,
Mr. Rude! No!
and he beat their ass, which
Oh my god, that's cool. That's not cool, actually.
it's not cool, but it's Rick
That's
Rude, so, like, he gets all kinds of passes, I guess.
he escapes that. Terry rips a door off another thing. I mean, this guy can fuck up a door. Anything with hinges, it's coming off if he needs to get in. So great on him. As he escapes, like Sam's talking to Alan, he's like, there's this family's crazy. I can't do anything. This guy will wrestle. If I could cut his leg off, and I think he'd wrestle.
This is getting out of hand. So let me go above everyone and talk to the promoter. He's like, look, you got to cancel this match, man. I don't think it would be a good idea for Ronnie to wrestle. And the promoter's like, this is short notice, and
Flyers, man.
flyers made and everything.
He's like, well, this is like actually like a health thing, which, if your wrestlers are dying in ring, like it might not be a good look for you. So he basically like blackmails this guy into being like, all right, have him come. We're going to have the doctor look at him tomorrow. It's all good, whatever. And again, I have to shout out, you do have to live in a trailer, but they're wrestling 24/7, Steve. This is nighttime wrestling in a ring out in the middle of nowhere. And I think if I ever get rich, I'm going to have a professional wrestling ring that we can practice on just to fuck ourselves up. Just a personal dream of mine, Steve. So he's done it. He went around his brother, around his mother. He's basically blackmailing this promoter. Cut to the next day. He's not telling Ronnie any of this. Ronnie comes into this fucking thing and he's like, man, I think the Shilohs are trying to fucking besmirch me. Trying to get me, because I guess like I said at the beginning, championship matches, Steve, doesn't matter. There is no story. It's anything goes. So I guess technically anybody could win this. It's not a foregone conclusion.
The ending's not booked, but the promoter, he shows up with a doctor the next day, and doctor, he gives him a little fake examination, puts the little stethoscope on him. He's like, yeah, fit as a fiddle. Little congestion in his lungs, but Sam's like, wait, hold up. What about chest X-rays, EKG, MRI, a CAT scan? A CAT scan?
What are you talking about, mister? That doctor's head's going to blow up whenever those things come out. He's like, holy shit. Who was that guy? Maybe he was a Russian asset. He knew all this shit. Yeah, fake doctor. Sam's calling out. He's like, get him a fucking stem cell transplant on his neck. Throw in a couple of T cells. And the guy's like, are you fucking, do we need to throw you into the loony bin, sir?
Brown shaking ass.
Yeah, Ronnie's like, look, I told you, dude. Look at this. I'm a fucking stud. All right? I'm way bigger than you. So shut up. Watch this shit go down. So Sam's plan, it's kaputs. He cleared his medical exam. Al's pissed off. Al's like, what kind of quack doctor is this? He is a quack. Let me see something real quick. That guy touches women when they're asleep in his doctor's office. So just so you know that, he's got dirt on that guy. But so now Al finally gets all this new info from Ziggy, and Ziggy tells him that Ronnie's medical history is just, there's a lot of red flags on it. Sam is a doctor. He looks at a couple of things and he sees this, like, he basically diagnoses that thing we were talking about where Ronnie had rheumatic fever, Steve, when he was a kid. And now, because of that, it might not show up on a test, but he has a high likelihood for heart disease and obviously like to just drop and have a heart attack if you like exert yourself so much. So dude's future diagnosing shit, Steve. This guy he can kick your ass or diagnose you with a heart disease. What do you want?
Microstenosis.
Shit. Rheumatic fever? I've never even fucking heard of that, Steve.
He confronts the family about it the next day, and the mom's like, how did you even know about that fever? You weren't even born. So Sam tells him, the dead brother told me.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name.
It was on like a piece of paper or something. I just happened to see it, but even now the mom is like, oh fuck, that's weird. Maybe he's right, Ronnie. Maybe you shouldn't. Even Bobby Heenan's like, that's a little too weird. Maybe we should just like chill out. But Ronnie's like, hell no, dude. You kidding me?
For the belt?
The fucking Ruski, dude. Been fucking pumping iron my whole life for this. Fuck that. Hey, by the way, fuck you too, little bro. Suck my dick. Let's
You
get out.
taking both them belts.
Oh, and also Ronnie had taught him like a new move, I think, or maybe he learned. Sam learns a sleeper hold, which comes in very handy at a certain point. Because all he's got in his arsenal is that he's like Mickey and Snatch. He's got one move. He's got that karate kick to hell, and if he doesn't hit that, you never know. But Sam tells Al, he's like, "Well, everything's fucked. But I actually thought of another plan." And Al's like, "What's that? Just go to Mexico, chill, a couple of hookers." And he's like, "No, I'm not going to tag in." And I was like, "Are you fucking crazy, dude? That guy's a fucking monster." And meanwhile, Terry Funk's probably power fucking Sherry into a locker or something
For
while
pre-match.
while eating glass. But Sam's like, it's the only way. Like, if he doesn't get in the match, he can't die from wrestling. So, what else? What else can we do here? Can your little Ziggy calculator give us another answer, or do I just got to freestyle this shit again?
Sam, he makes a deal with Ronnie. He says, "Look, if we win the title tonight, you go to the doctor tomorrow for a complete examination." Dude, I'm fine. No. No more of that I'm fine shit. Tomorrow, if we win tonight, you go to the doctor for a complete examination, man. So while that's going on, the promoter comes in and he's like, "So you guys are going to take the fall for the Shilohs? Wait, hold up. That's not supposed to happen. You don't think we're good enough to win the belts? That it's not about that. You guys are the bad guys. How would it look for my company if I let the foreigners come in and win the belts, let you guys be champions? You can't like this America." It's like while that conversation's going on, Carl comes in and he's like, I want to beat all your ass. We can do this for real this time.
I challenge you to a fucking ladder match with Tex and urine at the bottom.
There you go.
But I gotta say, Carl, for as tough as he is, as tough as he could, as much as he could fuck a dude up, he comes in looking as gay as possible with like a kerchief, dude. So weird. Hey, you little mother! Winner has to take one in the ass match.
Great Terry
Looks
Funk, by the
crazy,
way.
but it's Terry Funk, bro. Basically, the Booker's like, you guys are Russians. You're the epitome of evil. So if I let
Yeah.
you win, we're gonna get torn apart. You're gonna get torn apart. Your mom, everybody. We're all gonna die because these are Southerners. There's a guy in there with a fucking pitchfork, dude.
And then Al comes up again and says, Ziggy just told me there's a strong possibility Card could kill you.
Man, fuck the statistics, though. He's like, yeah, Ziggy can suck. What does Ziggy have to say about sucking my dick?
Yeah.
Anywho, let's get out.
He says that's not likely, Sam. But shout out to Al's gear in this episode. He's rocking like a Dick Tracy hat that's green. It's like, and he's matching, like it's very player.
I mean, he can again. Like, I think you're right. He has the ultimate sitch because he'll come in looking like a fucking admiral in the Navy. Sometimes he's got military shit on. Maybe he'll throw on a nice little leisure suit, little fucking Hugh Hef every once in a while. He's just getting high in some kind of weird digital computer love room, Steve.
Shout out Dean Stockwell, man. He was a cool dude. R.I.P. to him, man. But from the great state of Texas, here we are in the big match. We got the Shiloh boys against those wild Ruskies.
And the guy wrestling, that's the other part of the Shiloh Boys, is this. I mean, they found the sloppiest dude, Steve. This guy is not wrestling that long either. He's eating a lot.
Looks like he puts butter in his milk.
Yeah, he's getting, that's his weight gain. I say, he has to pray to God, Steve. The bell rings. Terry Funk's getting to work on him. He's baking. He's just trying to like avoid it, running, juking and jiving. Basically, he just starts getting fucked up. He takes every move that you can. He gets back broken, fucking pile driven, all of it. Every porno move you can think of.
Spear,
Yeah.
suplex, DDT,
Elbow dropped, all of it. He don't know how to take a bump, Steve. He's sitting here taking these. This is real deal.
stiff as fuck.
You take a real DDT, you're gonna be all fucked up.
But eventually, Sam slaps this sleeper hold on Carl, and he's got it right at that pressure point because just like Stone Cold in WrestleMania 13, he's just out.
God damn it. I would be at my kid's birthday party, but I had to wrestle Bruiser Brody in a winner takes it all tack and exploding grenade match. Winner gets a fucking big ass steak dinner. But good plan, Sam. You did it. You slept her. I mean, you took down a giant too. I'd feel like a badass. I might fuck his wife after that. You just
You
feel you're
should.
on top of the world. You might. It might be like wrestling rules, like the rules of the road. Like when you take a guy down like this, you inherit the puss.
Yeah.
You know, you have to you have to mark her.
You got to sit at the corner of the bed and watch.
But
Tuck
they
you.
get pelted with garbage, Steve. You capitalist pigs! You donkeys! Also, Al comes in. He's like, "Hey, boop 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 boop. Ronnie's good. Good job, bud."
Yeah. A deal's a deal. He owns up to it, man. He's like, look, all right, I'll go to the doctor tomorrow, and they find out he'll be okay. He just needs some medication for his heart, and even his son will eventually become an Olympic wrestler, Olympic gold medalist, I think.
Kurt Angle, Steve. That's
Heard
where
it?
he came from. I think that might be the lore here. We figured it out.
It's
Uh,
true.
Terry gets drug in, and Sherry's berating him. You know, you loser. You fucking lose. I should have fucked him in the fucking trailer like I wanted to.
Look what you did to my baby. And then he looking at that ass though,
Mm.
and
She
I
is,
was
I
like,
mean, dude, she's sensational, Steve. I got to give it to her.
oh, she
Eric
fine.
can get it. Yo, she
And,
fine.
and and I was like, look, man, I would do it, but I wouldn't feel it, and she wouldn't either. Come on, Sam, go ahead, go ahead. Nah, I can't. And then he just like kicks her, like I did dude Matt freshman year. Steve or Matt, Steve or kick me in the ass, dude.
And that's what initiates the next leap, Steve. He gets a nice ass kick in on this crazy slut, Steve. Just a crazy lascivious woman. And then
They
they
end up in a bomb shelter.
yeah, he's just like it's something crazy because he has like a gas mask on. And everyone's like, "Oh my god, oh my god!" So this is where it might not be that cool. I'll give you that.
It's one of those situations, man. But another great episode of this show.
Another great Terry Funk acting job too. Shout out to the Ledge. Not only
All
was
right,
he a hardcore legend, but had some acting chops, Steve.
can't forget about Over the Top too, man.
Over the top. Hell yeah. That's his opus.
More so
Roadhouse.
than Roadhouse.
Roadhouse, I feel like he wasn't featured enough. Over the Top, he was like I feel like he was heavily involved in Over the Top.
He was the heavy.
Hell yeah. Shout out Terry Funk, dude. He's a legend. Hardcore and everything else.
That following year, 1992, Poison Ivy premieres. A seductive teen befriends an introverted high school student and schemes her way into the lives of her wealthy family. Directed by Kat Shea, starring Tom Skerritt, Sarah Gilbert, Cheryl Ladd, and Drew Barrymore.
Uh,
Hey,
dude, Steve, this wasn't the one. This started it all off, the
yeah.
series, but for a young teenage boy in the 90s, this was just a very great just for me a three movies that really just made a mark on a lot of gym socks in my life, if you know what I'm
And
talking about.
they picked two good actresses for this because Sarah Gilbert, I mean, she's kind of, I mean, you know her as Darlene from Roseanne, and she's not, she's like the antithesis of being a sex pot. Which Drew Barrymore, she plays well. I don't know how old she is now. She's about what, maybe 10 plus years older than us, but watching her in the 90s, man, yeah,
Because
yeah,
we got to see her from like, and this is gross, but we were kids too. Like we grew up with her, so when we became like adults, she was a little further than us, and it was just
yeah,
like, oh, hello, that's not the chick
yeah.
from ET. That's the
She,
chick that wants to get some of this D.
hey yo, and she's come a long way, man. I like the movie. Like you said, this is the first one, and she plays that role well. Like that
Yeah, I mean,
temperament.
she's just a sex pot. This is like, remember, there was a movie called Lolita, and this is just like that weird kind of movie they were making where it's like a barely legal girl trying to like seduce an older man because she's trying to fuck like a father, and that's usually what these movies are about. Some
Yeah.
girl gets in with some like she's like a young teenage hot sexy chick, and she gets like involved with like a family, and then inevitably the dad's just like, oh, okay, I'm gonna have to go ahead and have a little tasty treat here. This wasn't the one though. I'm sure this is sexy. I probably have seen it, but the second one, and for sure the third one, probably got a couple of spank banks still left in the old in the catalog, Steve, from those movies. It's got
That
a deep place in my heart. If you can't,
clearly. That following year, 1993, NBC would air the final episode of A Different World, and we've only had a few opportunities to talk about this. The official last episode was May 8th, 93, but they would continue that summer and air a couple more episodes, like some out of sequence episodes, and one of those we did cover like years ago.
great show. I don't know in terms of final episodes how it stacks up, but we all loved it. We all wanted those cool glasses, you know.
Dwayne Wayne's, and this made an impact on HBCU enrollment. Because of this show specifically, the enrollment in historically black colleges and universities increased by a lot, man. And I mean, it was just a great time to be a black youth. Not saying it's not now, it's scarier now, I feel, but at that time, man, it just sparked an interest in upward mobility, in my opinion.
Yeah, there was a lot more examples of like positive role model. Like even I hate to bring up Cosby, but even that it was just like
Even that.
people there was money wasn't like the driving thing. They were like rich professionals and stuff, and that was for like a different world. It was like younger, but it was the same thing. It wasn't like people struggling. It was just like classy people. It was like a bunch of like cool people, and it was nothing. I don't know. It was just like a different vibe than what you'd seen on TV before that. So especially for like people our age, we kind of grew up in like a golden age for that. You know,
Definitely,
I think it
man.
kind of started a little bit before, but maybe not on TV as much as in movies. I think maybe the 80s, that's when it started rolling up for movies a little bit more with like Spike Lee and shit. But even that was like more of a 90s thing, I guess.
I think it was a mix of both. You could probably say late '80s because along with Spike Lee, you had Robert Townsend and you had the Wayans family on the rise. But Deborah Allen, who was the sister of Felicia Rashad, aka Claire Huxtable, she was the executive producer of this show. And Different World is probably one of those examples where you could say the spinoff was just as good, if not better, than the original.
I don't know that you could say that for many other things, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's very
Like,
rare, man.
for real. But yeah, I mean, I think, and especially now when people are like really nostalgic, you hear that getting brought up more. I think I wasn't like actively like telling people when I was a kid, like, I like watching reruns of A Different World, but I think there was a lot of people that did,
Oh
you know,
yeah.
all over the place, all over the map. So it was definitely, I don't remember exactly when it came into my life, but I was young and it was just like, I think it was already in syndication, if I'm not mistaken. Like I remember seeing it a lot, like on repeat.
Yeah, it came into the game, I wanna say 87, 86 or 87, but yeah, great ensemble cast, it had rotating characters because of the premise, you had people coming in, you had people coming out. That following year, 1994, Martin is airing season 2, episode 26, The Hoedown in Motown. When Stan sells the radio station, the new owner changes the format, so Martin must play country western music to keep his job.
This is a classic, Steve. WZUP, I didn't know it was for sale, Steve. It starts off with Jerome just at Nipsey's talking to a couple ladies, having some fun. He's just throwing out like some great lines, Steve. You know, he's really macking pretty hard. It's Jerome. But then I think this guy's name is Shag, but the guy from the fucking
From the
barbershop,
barbershop? Yeah.
yeah, he comes in. And I like this guy's vibe, Steve. I think he's cool and he's got a cool little lisp and look. And he unfortunately doesn't have a lot of tact because he just walks up to Jerome mid Mac and is like, I just want to just say I respect you. He's just like interrupting a man and just right mid max, Steve, basically.
It's me, Lil Dog. I want to be like you, man. I heard you got all the honeys. First of all, who is you? I'm Lil Dog.
I'm Lil Dog. He basically is like, all right. Let me give you some game. Watch me work, little dog. And he goes up to not the girls he's been talking to because they're here. There's a couple other ladies further down on the bar. He walks up to them. He proposes Mona Lisa because you most definitely a work of art. And the girl's just basically like, ew.
Girl, I want to drink your bath water. It's all right. Breath smell like a whole bowl of sausages.
But as he's getting rejected, Jerome turns around and dude, little dog is now big dog because he's got them all around and they're fucking just putting their fingers through his really weird hair. He's got a gold tooth. They're loving it. Jerome's not appreciative, Steve. That's disrespectful.
Where you going with my fresh buns? Where my buns going? You heard what the man name is? Lil Dog. How you gonna get love and affection when he can't even get a dun, 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 dun.
Credits great. We talked about the shitty credit music in season 5. We're not there yet. This is good. And then we cut to WZUP, and Sean's looking for Stan. He can't find him anywhere. Martin's just in the DJ booth, and they haven't seen him for a while. And then
3
two
days.
like Men in Black dudes come in, fucking straight up agents from the Matrix come in looking for Stan on behalf of the IRS, Steve.
Looking
like
for
that.
Stan Winters. I think this is the first time we find out his last name, and they're
That's a
playing
big
dumb.
ass name, Steve.
Like Stan who? Stan Winters, you know, the owner of WZUP. Oh, Stan. Oh, he's in his skin.
Bitch.
Yeah.
They're not giving up anything. They don't give Stan up, even though they're looking at the FBI or whatever. And the guys are like, well, hey, you know, we're gonna go, but you just need to tell Stan he's got 1 week to pay up, or WZUP, we're gonna knock this building down.
We cut back to Martin's. We find out Stan hasn't paid his taxes in 20 years. Cole's like, man, I don't know what we gave them money for anyway. All they give us is cheese.
And then Sean comes in with a tape, Steve. This would never happen now. He comes in with a tape. They throw it in, and we cut to the tape. Stands in like a chair. He's basically, it seems like about to get some sort of crazy plastic surgery to hide his identity.
Yeah.
He's like doing like make me famous shit where he's like, give me Albie Shure's brows and give me this and that.
Give me Yaphet Kotto's nose, Mick Jagger lips, and Albie Shore's eyebrows.
It's actually one brow, Steve. It's just one continuous brow, to be honest with you. But Stan then takes a minute. He's like, Martin, I need your help. I need $20,000 to help me pay the government. Also, that last check I gave you might bounce, so maybe don't try to just give me a couple weeks.
The man is on my ass, Martin. I need your help. I know I siphoned the gas out your car, stole some money off your desk, but I need help, Martin.
Damn. But Martin's stunned, Steve. And also, just side note, you have probably one of the most accurate stands of all time. So just shout out to that. But, you know, Martin's stunned. He's potentially unemployed, but Pam loving it. Loving it. Looks like you're going to be out of job, bruh.
But Martin's got a plan. He's like, you know what, man, Stan, if he loses this radio station, I'm gonna lose my job. So we got to figure out a way. And Tommy's like, look, how you gonna come up with $20,000 in such a short time? Look, Tommy, I'm stressed right now. I don't have time for bald-headed reasoning. Hey, matter of fact, everybody get out. You Black Eyed Peas, get up out of here. Afro man, you get up out of here. And then Cole's like, oh, what about your woman's head? Ain't nothing wrong with my head, Cole.
Yeah, she's got a little like short due right now. So he gets everybody out, and then we cut because he's got to work quick here. So he's only got a week, so we cut to the Stan Aid Radiothon that he's putting on at WZUP. He starts it off. They're there. They even got the screen, Steve. They got like a little fucking screen with the numbers. They can keep
Lord.
track. He takes a call. The first call he gets, he's like, "Man, the shit's lighting up. This is great." And the lady calls, the answers is like, "This motherfucker owes me $500."
Oh,
But then, oddly enough, Stan calls in next, which is a surprise.
don't worry about the money. I sold WZUP, Martin.
What? And then he finds out that the guy's actually about to be there too, the new owner. So that's a little off putting. It's a pretty sudden change. But he also is like, "Who'd you sell this to?" And then as soon as he says that, like the embodiment of Foghorn Leghorn, I don't know. It's just like the most southern dude of all time comes in.
And he's like, "Weehaw!
Oh,
This
yeah.
ain't a country. This ain't a country music station. Standing screwed me over. Hi, I'm Red McMasters."
New owner of Weehaw Radio. It's going to be the new go-to for country music and Motown, Steve. But Sam's a slick guy. Sold him a country music station that wasn't a country music. Very Stan. I love that.
Very Stan.
Stan done rip me off.
And then the next scene, he's already in gear, man, because he's like, "What's up? I mean, weehaw! Another hour of Charlie Pride, the first brother of country and the only brother. Last time I checked, we'll be back after I choke this chicken."
He tells Sean, who comes in, he's like, "Man, shit's depressing, dude. It's all a bummer." And Sean's like, "Actually, I'm from a trailer park. It just reminds me of home."
Yeah.
And I get it.
I feel like I'm the man.
But this is where Red comes in, covered in soot. He just got done putting out an oil rig fire. He's fucking putting soot in the air. And Martin's like, "Look, man, the format isn't working, okay? This is Motown, Detroit. And I know a city is scary for a little country boy like you." He's like, "What with all the horseless carriages going around
Flying
and the
machines.
flying machines in there?" But Red's like, "You know what? We're going to crack this egg, Martin. You're going to do it. I think you can." He's like, "Give me a weehaw right now on air. I want to hear it. Give me it."
Get a little weehaw. Dance, boy.
And then Martin scream. He does give him a weehaw, but it's like that of like a psychiatric patient. It's scary almost.
Begrudgingly. Back to Martin's Gina, he tells her, like, "I don't know if I can do another day of this music. Every time I play it, I feel like you sneaking around on me, Gina. Drinking, fornicating."
What you doing? What you doing, Gina? Charlie Pride can't just get me through this. He only has such a big catalog. There's only a couple tracks I can play. So Gina's like, "Yeah, I just don't think you're giving this shit a chance, though. Just like think of it from a different perspective."
You need a job.
Yeah. She's like, "And also, you gave me this." And she shows him that ring. He will tell you how much it cost.
Yeah.
It was this many Discmans or whatever. He's got it all, the mathematics out. So I guess he's got to put that fucking shit. He's got to put that hat on, Steve. Get that big ass belt buckle out, some boots, get the scooting.
You know what? Some of the shit I can kind of get with. One day I mix some Snoop Dogg's gin and juice with it. You know what I'm saying? Rolling down the street. But back at the station, he's like, "Yeah, this here Marty Payne." They even have a song, him and Sean. "If you walk away from me, I just love you from behind, from behind, from behind."
If you'd only turned around, true love is what you find. But if you walk away from me, I'll just love you from behind. It's a banger, Steve. I got to give him credit. One day in, he's already writing hits. I thought it was pretty good. Red comes in, sees this whole show going on where Martin's fucking boot scooting and line dancing and shit. Like, he's doing it all. And Red's just sitting there, like, taking it in, like, "God damn, you really fucking giving your all at this shit, aren't you, Marty?"
Yeah. You know what? At first, I thought it was all about downtrodden music and just making people sad. But Red, it's about sharing all your pain and your heart. You know what, Martin? Remember when I told you I wanted to put the mood back in Motown? I lost my damn mind. Our number's in the crapper, Martin, and I blame you. I thought you were gonna bring like a street savage thing to it, but
Like an
you're
urban
corny.
gangsta cowboy type situation, but you're just corny, man.
It's not happening.
And then he's like, "Oh, you want edge? You
Oh,
want
you,
edge, Red?
you want
Okay.
street?
You know what? Go ahead and take a seat because I think we're about to come back on air. I'm feeling edgy. We're about to
Yeah,
make history here." And then Martin goes live. We don't get to hear a lot of what he says because it's bleeped, but Red's loving it, Steve.
I want to tell you something about our new owner, Red McMasters. Yeah, he's a bleep, and after he bleeps, he be a bleep.
Yo, I love it in parts of it when you do hear it. He's always like part time, taking a little sheep, little beep, all the way up in the beep. But
And we'll be
Red's
back after
dying.
he beep his beep.
Red's dying, Steve. And I feel like whatever he is saying that's getting bleeped, there is a legit reaction from Red, or he's just good at acting like he's laughing really hard
Yeah.
because he's dying. They cut. Martin's like, "How's that for edge, Red?" And Red's like, "You funny as hell, Martin. You fired."
And you fired.
Yeah. What? Clearly, Martin wasn't expecting that, but he picks up a trash can and goes a little Spike Lee and is like, "Radio!" and throws that shit, but it doesn't do anything, Steve.
I like that shout out considering he was actually in that movie too.
Hell yeah. But he's fired, Steve. That's it. That's it, Steve. We do get credits. We get a bunch of bloopers that are hilarious. This guy Red, whoever played Red McMaster, he was having a great time.
My rig caught on fire.
I feel like this is one of the quintessential episodes. I remember this one a lot for whatever reason, and it's great. And it's kind of like his experience on SNL, where most of it was bleeped, but probably hilarious. You know.
Man, he actually called attention to that in the following episode when he's like on the search for another job because he says, I looked at every radio station, even WNBC. I guess they banned me.
It's like somebody banned me, Gina.
But Garrett Morris, he was unable to physically appear. They had to, maybe this is part of the reason why they had to do the video. I don't know if this was part of the storyline, but he was robbed and shot while walking to his
God
car.
damn.
Yeah, once in the arm and once in the chest. And this was actually, I think, his last episode as a castmate. He would show up in the Renum Spoons episode, but yeah, as a castmate, this is it.
Fuck whoever did that. Damn. Trying to shoot fucking Garrett Morris, a living legend.
Yeah.
That sucks. I never realized that. I guess that makes sense, but what a shitty reason he wasn't on it. That fucking blows.
People suck, man. 1995, Filter releases their debut album, Short Bus.
This is it, Steve. If you're like, this was the Filter album I liked, and then they came out with that one that was like, "If you take my picture." But this is it. I mean, "Hey Man, Nice Shot." This shit gets me fired up. You
Oh,
know,
yes. A
this is
lot
what
of screaming, a lot of loud guitar, and that's, yeah,
it's fucking hardcore. So I don't know where they flipped into the mainstream.
awake on my
Yeah.
airplane, awake on my airplane, my spirit's dead.
I feel like a douchebag.
Hey, I don't want to hate on Robert Patrick. No,
He's a
not
badass. Robert
not Rob.
Patrick, definitely not, because he was Terminator too. But
Richard Patrick. He's the little bro of Robert Patrick. Richard
what?
Patrick. Yeah, Richard Patrick is the lead singer of Filter, the younger brother of Robert Patrick. But yeah, Hey Man, Nice Shot, man. This it's the quintessential like hard rock song to me, man. And I remember ECW promos, they would use this song a lot. It's the first thing that comes to my mind when I hear this song because they would play it and you would hear Paul Heyman's voice over it. Sabu takes on the intervener of violence, Tommy Dreamer. And you hear that, "Hey, man.
Oh my god!
Have fun.
Hell yeah. But this is a banger. This is used a lot in movies, and it's just a banger of a song. I'm looking at the track list, and I know there was like 3 songs on this that I used to play a lot, but I can't remember what. I think Dose is another one too, but I'd have to go back and listen to the full album.
The
Hey
whole
man,
album,
we
banger.
all know that motherfucker. That was it. I'll
Yeah.
still fight somebody if I hear that at the right time.
And like the whole album slaps, bro. And like it's a pump up song. I needed this. Filter, thank you. You hit me at the right time, Filter. 1998, Deep Impact premieres. A comet is discovered to be on a collision course with Earth. As doomsday nears, the human race prepares for the worst. Directed by Mimi Leader, starring Robert Duvall, Tia Leone, Elijah Wood, Vanessa Redgrave, Maximilian Schell, and Morgan Freeman.
I'm the president, and I can't do any. This one, I feel like here's what happened. They made Armageddon. I feel like Armageddon and this came out maybe in
The
the same
same
year.
year. They did.
Armageddon was the goofy, kind of more entertaining one. This was more of like the cerebral, like what would happen if we were put in this situation type thing. It's kind of boring.
Yeah.
It's kind of boring, to be honest with you. But
I
there's
can't get it.
the destruction that they show when you get to that actual part of it, which is not that much of the movie. I feel like they pulled off some of that pretty cool, except for Taya Leone looking at a gigantic wave coming at him. I thought that's a little chilly, but whatever.
I can't get into it, man. The world, the comments coming. I can't get into this Neil deGrasse Tyson shit. Like, give me murders, give me titties. It's just my taste, Matt. Fuck that. I'm not even gonna
Well,
downplay it.
they introduce like cool shit in it because in the movie there's like a lottery to see who can go to like underground bunkers and stuff. So like, I think that's like a cool premise, but that's not like they don't like focus on any one thing. There's like so many things that they're like showing you, and it's just like, all right, we're about like 2.5 hours in here. Can we just fucking all die at this point, please?
Yeah,
You know?
and I didn't even bother to watch because I'm just like, man, I'd be forcing myself. I'd rather watch all the Poison Ivies in one day than watch Deep Impact
Get
once.
dehydrated if you do that, Steve. Watch
Yeah,
all 3 of them and back to back to back.
yeah.
Come out fucking 10 pounds lighter.
On that same day in 98, Woo premieres. Gorgeous and extroverted Woo meets insecure and straight laced law clerk Tim at a blind date. Directed by Daisy Von Scherfermeyer. Starring Tommy Davidson, Jada Pinkett Smith, Dave Chappelle, Paula Jai Parker, LL Cool J, Darren Heath, and Dwayne Martin.
I don't remember this one specifically, but I do. I know I've seen this, especially when I see the cover. And this was when I thought Jada Pinkett Smith was not a psycho or this like a not cool person, and I really wanted to have her just sit on my face till I suffocated.
She was always a hottie in the 90s. Low Down Dirty Shame, Jason's Lyric, This, Different World.
Demon Knight, Steve. I'm gonna keep bringing it up. She was hot as fuck in that movie. Dave Chappelle, though, early Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, early Dave Chappelle. Dude, you got him and Tommy Davidson in the same movie. I didn't like the movie. You didn't utilize them for what they're good at. You're getting neutered versions of Tommy Davidson and Dave Chappelle, man. And I didn't care for Jada Pickett's little muffin top hairdo. I don't know, like she's still hot.
Yeah,
I wouldn't kick her out of bed, but I'm just saying, like, it's just like, what are you doing, Velma from Scooby Doo?
it is very that.
What the
Yeah,
fuck is it?
I don't. Yeah, but this was early. They didn't know what the magic that they had. I feel like Tommy Davidson is crazy because like when you use him for what he's good at, he
Yeah,
always delivers, even if
he's
it's
going to
2 seconds.
deliver every time, bro. Every so much to the point. 30 years later, they made a spinoff off of his one-time character. That's how dope the man is.
Yeah, yeah. So that's disappointing, but this is like one of those movies, There was a lot of these. There was what is the other fucking movie I'm thinking of with 2 of them that has fucking
There are a lot like this where there's this temptress hot chick, and she's being, oh, I don't know, what's a pussy? I don't know.
sex. What? Is that what you want? Yeah, it's an instructional piece basically, but yeah, there was a lot of this. But shout out, this is Jada Pinkett was getting noticed. She was hot as all fuck in the '90s.
Can't take that away from her.
Yeah, so we'll give her that.
But
That's about it. I'm not a fan anymore, Steve. I got to be honest.
man, hey man, I'm a will stand. Anything wrong you do to him is coming back to you.
Bitch, I don't even like Ben Vereen still.
Still
Fuck his ass.
got some time to redeem yourself, Ben. And interestingly, though, Pam Grier and Isaac Hayes, they were supposed to be Woo's parents, Jada Pickett's parents, but their scenes were deleted. Maybe I would have appreciated that. Yeah.
How the fuck, dude? I would be fucking pissed. Who the fuck directed this?
Who?
Daisy Von. What kind of? I'm sorry, Daisy Von. Whatever.
Sherler, that explains it all right there. This is why you didn't get the proper Dave Chappelle or Tommy Davidson, because Daisy Von Sherler, Mayor.
What the fuck? What kind of fucking East German shit is this? I want to make this movie called Woo. It is
Tommy
about
Davidson.
being black. I love Tommy Davidson's black humor. It's great. I know. I want to see what Daisy Von Schnurm. Oh my God, Steve! You got to look up Daisy. The
Doing
fact
it.
she made this now, this is some fuck shit, Steve. I don't like this.
Different
Fucking
ways to piss me
Miss
off.
Boulevard?
God, I like LL Cool J.
I don't like any of these things, but I make lots of money when I do. Who Dave Chappelle? What? Who?
Yeah, she's got a strong
He
jaw.
is fucking very white. So Daisy, I mean, come on. I would love to talk to like Tommy Davidson and be like, what was this movie like to make?
Hey man, I needed a check.
So that was a weird one. I didn't expect that to be the director, but hey, you know what? Maybe she's a great director. I don't know.
This show full of
It got
surprises.
bad reviews.
As it should.
You know, it made 8 million and it had a budget of 13, so it didn't even make its money back. It's tough.
Of course, it shouldn't. It doesn't deserve its money back.
You think the soundtrack was good, Steve? This seems like one where you'd get like a weird, like weirdly good soundtrack.
I mean, if LL Cool J was in the movie, maybe he lent a
Fucking
hand in.
Billy D. Williams is in this. I'm looking down further. Orlando Jones is in this.
Orlando Jones, yeah.
Fucking
Foxy Brown's in it.
there's a oh okay, yeah, Foxy, okay, she's halfway up. That's crazy, but hey, you know what? That's the '90s, Steve.
That following year, 1999, we would lose American actress Dana Plato at the age of 34. Famous for her role of Kimberly Drummond on Different Strokes. I think her last public appearance was on the Howard Stern show, if I'm not mistaken. Because I remember, like, I would religiously, just like you, listen to Howard Stern on the way to school or getting prepared for school. And I remember this episode where, Howard's just grilling her about, like, what's going on, because we had already heard about the Different Strokes curse at this point. Todd Bridges, he was having his troubles with drug issues, and Dana Plato, it was the same deal, and she passed away from an overdose. She was on diazepam.
That seems like a Michael Jackson drug.
And actually, it was the day before she died. She appeared on Howard Stern's show.
I always remember her because she was in this shitty ass game called Night Trap that was on Sega CD. That was like one of those games where you had to like just hit a button like while a video played. I actually never was able to play the game too much because I couldn't figure out how to like succeed in it, but it was cool. It was like one of those first games where they use like real video. It looked like crazy. It was like watching a movie,
Yeah, especially for that time.
Yeah, she was like the main person in it, I think. But shout out to Sega CD too. See, innovative. She was in an innovative video game, Steve.
Now, diazepam, it was sold under the brand name Volume.
She was on them Valley Girls, Steve.
That's what she was prescribed as a teenager, but the actual death, they found carisoprodol and hydrocodone.
Oh, damn. Was she sipping on some scissor, Steve?
I don't know.
I think this might have been a scissor situation.
Some Loratab and some muscle relaxants. Yeah, so
Dana liked the party, Steve. Do you think that Todd got her into it, or do you think they were just feeding off each other, just getting fucked up on the set?
They were probably partying together as they got older, and then
they partied with Gary.
Gary, I don't think he was doing the drugs like that, man. I think Gary
would. I think if he did, didn't he have like a kidney shit that he was like gonna die?
Yeah, so he was straight edge for the most part, but yeah, it's just unfortunate what happened with that cast. Ty Bridges is the only one still with us. And there was a point when I thought the dad would outlive them all, man. But Conrad Bain, he passed away. I want to say 2012 or 2013. But R.I.P. to Dana Plato. But any callbacks, Matt?
I do want to call back to Night Trap, which is just a fun game, Steve. Shout out to Sega CD. Never owned it, always rented it, and the games suck so bad that you could never really beat them. So I'd like to see if anyone ever beat Night Trap from our fans, or also there was a game that was like a zombie Jamaican game that I can't remember the name of it that I could never play. I just couldn't win, Steve. You couldn't do anything. Sewer Shark, same thing. I'd rent the shit, couldn't get past the first 5 seconds. So
Jamaican
just shout out
zombies.
to that. But I'm going to ask you some questions, Steve, because you haven't really been doing very well in our little trivia questions. So I'm going to give you just a little just a little second chance here. What actress played the lead role in Sabrina the Teenage Witch?
Oh, Melissa Joan Hart.
Nice. Okay. 1 for 1. Steve, for the clean sweep. What was the name of the space telescope that was launched into orbit in 1990? And I'll guarantee you this is the only space telescope that you even know the name of.
Apollo 13.
Damn it. It's called the Hubble Space Telescope, Steve. It's called the Hubble Space Telescope.
Back with the Neil deGrasse Tyson shit. I do not fuck science.
Well, tell that to the people behind 100 Questions for Loving the 90s. So tell them to Samsonico USA LLC, Steve.
I don't even know what Apollo 13 was. I just drew that out my ass. I think that was 60s. I don't know about that shit. I care about Earth.
Telescope, man.
What's going on here in the vicinity?
Well, you try. You got Melissa Jones, Steve, which that's what we really want to know about. Can you call these names out? So
that's the one that counts. That's the 90s stuff that I remember.
Somebody stop the damn match! Enough's enough!
Growing up in the 70s, I'm gonna beat y'all's ass. Watch. I'm gonna fuck y'all
I
up.
can't wait. I'll come, dude. We're gonna go in fucking Rusky style, Steve. You fucking capitalist pigs. Dude, honestly, I've been getting kind of fired up because of my job. So I'm getting to the point now where it's like wish a motherfucker would type situation. So maybe we go to Pakistan.
We got to find out where that motherfucker is. Probably multiple motherfuckers, but like, y'all gonna get y'all's day, man. Y'all will get y'all's day.
Yeah,
like,
we got some cooking. Some I don't know, but what about you, Steve? Other than like the hatred for these douchebags, what's something positive you got to call out? What's something cool?
Something positive. All right. So 1993, SNL has the Midnight Oil as musical guest, and Christina Applegate. This is the classic Matt Foley debut.
Is that Billy Shakespeare over there? Can't tell.
Can be rolling doobies.
Using that paper for writing poems or rolling doobies. Yeah, that's a classic, Steve. That's all-time greatest episodes.
Even outside of that skit, man, from beginning to end, man, Christina Applegate, man, shout out to her, man. And also Married with Children, 1995, they're doing another failed spinoff, Radio Free Tremaine, where Bud, he's going to college at this point, and who's the hot chick? Carrie Russell. She was supposed to be in this new spinoff because she's in this episode with a little cute curly hair and shit. And 1996.
Who the fuck is that? Kid Felicity?
Felicity, yeah.
Okay. All right,
and,
Bud.
1996, Drew Carey Show was airing Buzz Beer. This is the formation of the company, and it's good to have Drew Carey back on our timeline, man. We'll get back to you in Cleveland. We'll get back to you, man. But please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Please tell your sister, if the rhythm feels good to you, baby, let me hear you say, baby. If the rhythm feels good to you, baby, let me hear you say, baby. If the rhythm feels good to you, baby, let me hear you say, baby. Check out Food Show Fanatics, our guy Ronzilla, Wrestling with Ronzilla, Kendra with Crushgasm on Wednesdays, and our guy Clark the Shark on Podcastle. This is Steve G and Mad G with
Happened in the 90s.
Matt was the fat kid, Steve was the black kid. Life wasn't always great, but you know what was? The 90s. Happened in the 90s. Yeah!
Now we'll be back after this commercial after Red